Hey, welcome to the Junk Project. I'm your host, Michelle Hill. And today we have the awesome opportunity to be joined with our guest, Justin Schoener. Hey, Justin, how are you doing today?
What's going on, Michelle? You doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. How's life treating you right now?
Great. Just trying to slow down a little bit here and get back in the groove of things.
I love it. I love it. So you're going to MDM, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. This will be my first event to go, well, like this one. Um, so I'm excited and nervous at the same time. There's so many people.
Right.
So crowds are sometimes are difficult for me, but
But I think having the full entrepreneur spirit is going to
yeah,
be so lifting and elevating in there because everyone is on the same mission there. You
yeah.
know,
Well,
we're all going to be empowering each other. You
yeah.
know,
My concern is normally I bring like my iPad like to the Apex events, and I bring my iPad and my phone, and between the two I like record the whole thing, and I'm like, I think this is too long. My phone's not going to hold up. I don't want to bring my iPad. So I'm like, I better just bring like a huge notebook and just take lots of notes.
and I heard that they posted somewhere that the com center has the clear bag policy, so you're not able to bring a lot of stuff in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant, clear bag, because I just remember something like you can't bring a big bag or something, but
Right. It's kind of like a concerts when you go to concerts.
I have
Your
never
bigger
been to one.
oh
I've
my
never
gosh.
been.
And how long have you lived in Texas, ma'am?
I've lived in Texas like 2 years, but I'll tell you what. So my friends in junior high would go to concerts and they would come back and they'd be like, "Oh my God, all these girls were naked." And I'm like, "I'm not going. I don't know why they were naked, but I don't want to be running around naked, so I'm not going." I didn't know anything. I didn't ask. I was just scared.
What kind
So
of concerts were these, ma'am?
no idea.
I tell you what, I'm holding you up. I'm gonna take you to a Texas music concert sometime when I'm up in Dallas area.
What's the
And
Texas music? Like what kind of music is that?
like rock and country, it's
Oh,
some,
okay, cool.
you know,
I'm like music illiterate too.
it's all good. It's all good.
All right. Well, why don't you share some about what you do and where you like to see where you're going, and just share
Sure.
with us about you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on, Michelle. Greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day for me and doing this. Justin Schoener, born and raised in South Texas, Victoria, Texas, technically. And I have been outfitting and customizing trucks for over 22 years now. And I own Outlaw Off-Road of Texas. And we, the business I started off in my parents' garage when I was like 21, and just slowly grown the business. I now have a 8,000 square foot shop in the middle of Victoria. I employ 10
Wow.
10 people, and between technicians, sales people, general manager, etc. And we're just rocking and rolling. Apex has taken me at a whole nother level. And I'm modifying a lot of vehicles, from lift kits, tires, wheels, diesel performance, gas performance, just pretty much any accessory that can happen to a truck. We do them. We do a lot of dealership vehicles for new vehicles,
Oh, wow.
and a lot of customers, a lot of repeat customers. Everyone wants their truck unique and to their
Yeah.
own, and we help them outfit it with some of the cleanest. And one of our biggest goals is to make a truck ride or drive better than stock, even when
Oh,
it's
wow.
lifted. I want that vehicle to ride and drive better. And if you put the right parts on and listen to what I recommend, the trucks will drive and ride better.
So it's really funny. I have I've had trucks for a long time, but my last truck was an '02 1500 Chevy HD. And that sucker, let me tell you, that was a loyal truck for what I put it through. And I mean, like 4 times I weighed in with truck and trailer at 20,000 pounds. And my husband's like, "Man, that truck's not supposed to pull it." I go, "Look, we don't tell Bob what Bob can't do because he don't need that negative attitude." But last year I got my first brand new truck, and it's an F-250 with the 7.3 crew cab 4x4. I've never been in love with the sitting truck normally. And so I had to I bought a ladder to put on the bed, right?
Hmm.
The not the bed, but anyway, so I can get in and out of the truck because otherwise lifted. And he's like, I don't think you're going to be able to lift it because then you can't use it. You can't load it. But I love the lifted trucks. I love the way they look. They look so neat.
Right. So you have a 7.3 gas motor in that truck?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that thing has a lot of torque and a lot of power.
Oh my God. So yeah, I caught myself a few times running my trailer at 80 and I'm like, oh, I don't even know I'm 80. It just
Right.
goes. So I have to watch my speed, And then one time I was talking to my husband and I was just in my truck and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the Tex Express lane running 95 miles an hour. And he goes, I think you're governed at 96. I go, yeah, I am. So that sucked.
Wow.
But it has some power. And compared to my last truck, let me tell you, he's like, you're gonna need a new transmission pretty soon if you're not careful. I drive it pretty hard, but I tell you what, I love trucks,
Right.
and I especially love Ford trucks now. But that 7.3 is just amazing.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a huge Ford guy as well. I've owned I have a bunch of trucks I've owned with Ford, and my latest one was a Ford Raptor. And but I've got a Ford
Those are
Excursion.
cool.
I've got a Ford Excursion. I've had Ford F-250 diesels, F-150s, and all kind. I'm a huge, pretty loyal Ford fan. So
What's your preference? Is it? It sounds like you're a diesel guy.
I am, but I guess the older I get, I am. That F-150 Raptor was one of my favorite trucks I've ever owned.
And
The ride, the drivability, the functionability out of it, just all around, it was a phenomenal truck. So, and actually, I just
I've
recently
heard great.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I just
I've heard
recently,
great things about that truck.
yeah, it's fine. So I did something crazy. You know, this whole industry is insane. I actually bought that truck in September, and I drove it. I put 18,000 miles on that vehicle, and I sold it back to the dealership for what I paid for it.
Oh my gosh.
So I drove a truck for free for 18,000 miles. So it's kind of a no brainer. But it's unheard of, but it's only because of the chip shortages and
Yeah.
the way that this whole truck economy is going on right now. You know,
Yeah. My husband has a 2019 Chevy HD 2500 diesel. And I think I want to say he paid around 52 because it was like 15,000 off MSRP when he bought it. He didn't buy it brand new. Well, I'm sorry, it was brand new, but he bought it. I don't know. It was 2019, so I think he bought it in 2020 or something. Um, and they offered him like 60 on it, and he doesn't drive it much, so it's got super low miles. And mine, because of the chip shortage, he called 80 dealerships between Chevy and Ford because we were looking for something specific. It had to have the 8-foot bed. I wanted the 7.3, stuff like that. We found ours in Kansas, so we had to go
wow.
to Kansas and pick it up. Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, I love the trucks. So they are just so much fun.
Yes, ma'am.
My
On a switch,
my next step is
oh,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was changing subjects, but go ahead.
Oh, my next thing is to get tires for it because it has the stock tires. So I'm looking
Right.
at all terrain now.
Yeah, definitely hit me up. I'll guide you the right way and what would fit underneath there and what tread pattern I recommend for you. So yeah, we
Oh,
can stay in
cool.
touch that way, and I can give you plenty of advice on that end of it.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to your podcast, and I know you talk about a lot about junk, and
Yeah.
I started thinking about that over the past week, and I really got started in my entrepreneurial spirit watching my grandfather take junk lawnmowers, and he would buy them in garage sales for like $5, spend his hobby and rebuild them and sell them for like 40 or $50.
Yeah.
He did that with bicycles, lawnmowers, And literally we had the biggest garage sales like in Victoria. He would, in the middle of town, it was by a college, and he would have 30 bicycles lined up and about 30 lawnmowers. It was insane.
Wow.
Everyone knew when Redwood Street would have a garage sale and it was his, we would sell out that day. And, I enjoyed watching him do that.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of where I got my whole entrepreneur spirit from, my hustle and drive. And I've turned that over, and not only on top of the business of Outlaw outfitting custom trucks, but the constant side hustles. I sell a lot of used tires and wheels on eBay, Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook
Wow.
Marketplace. And man, I'm just constantly hustling and grinding, figuring out a way to make a dollar,
Yeah.
So we take a lot of takeoffs from the customers' vehicles when they get the new tires and wheels. I'll give them some trade-in for their tires and wheels, and I'll usually mark them up about 100%, and I will flip them on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and stuff. So
You know what I would love to do is like put some kind of UPC code on stuff that gets sold, right? And everybody has to scan it just to see how many times it's been flipped
oh
and
wow,
how many times, the same thing has been paid for and what people have paid. I mean, that would just be fascinating to find out the history of that item and how many times it's changed hands and the cost of each time it's moved on, right?
that would be
That
very
would
cool.
just be cool. Yeah.
Another part that I've integrated into my business is we pull a lot of takeoff parts when we're doing these lift kits, whether it's a spindle, a shock, or something like that that's off a brand new vehicle. We'll actually take them, tag them, and I'll put them upstairs. And we have I call him my eBay employee. He'll list them on eBay, but those are crash parts that other mechanics and other dealerships need, other body shops. When a vehicle gets in a wreck and it breaks the spindle or the strut, they don't want to go to the dealerships. They're going to buy it off of eBay. So we have a whole nother side business within Outlaw of recycling those parts. And
That's pretty cool.
It works. And you'd be shocked at what I get for some of that stuff that comes off, because otherwise we're going to throw it in the scrap bin and haul it off to the junk metal.
You know what? I mean, to me, even if, and I know you're not getting 30 for them, but even if you got $30, it's way more than what you're going to get at scrap.
Oh, 100%.
People will have us come out and pick up a fridge, and sometimes they're like, oh, you'll make $30 off that. I go, no, it doesn't work that way. The price could be anywhere from $65 a ton, and I've seen it as high as $190 a ton. And I explained to that means I have to have 2,000 pounds in one load to make that amount. And I've yet to, I think, very, very rarely have I ever hit that amount, the 2,000 pound mark. I'm always under. But it's just funny how people think as far as that goes, because I love to scrap. So I have there is a fridge at my storage, and I ended up doing a video on it because I get questioned a lot about, can you do this and that or whatever. So I just showed in the video me loading that fridge. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's fascinating that you've got the eBay thing going. So how many auctions do you think you have going at one time?
So I normally don't do just the auction. I do like a classified section, kind of like the buy it now.
Yeah.
And so we do the research of like, where that price is at with that item, because there's several other sellers on there, and I'll mark it down like $5 or $10 because essentially that item was free to me. And so, even like on these spindles and knuckles off these trucks, I'll get $130, $140 for them plus shipping. So,
wow.
But eBay's got it marketed too. They take about 20% off that cut. So they get their chunk of change too, Yeah.
Yeah. I was a hoarder for 20 years. So I had 12 storage units, and I reduced it down, but I'm wanting to get on eBay. But for me, it's hard because I don't have one particular niche like you do, which is really easy to focus on that. So I'm really struggling right now on how to figure all this out, because I got anywhere from comics and baseball cards to like a 1970 ham radio whole setup. So it's really cool. some of the stuff I come across, and then I go dumpster diving and pull stuff out of that.
So why don't you hire and delegate somebody to that and pay them a
Because I
commission of it?
figure, yeah, I thought of doing that, but I figured have to be somebody that knows. I don't know. I guess I need to look into that some more.
Yep. Hire and delegate and teach them and train them, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
with an hourly plus a commission base. That's how I pay my eBay employee, you know,
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
problem at all.
And
You just
that's
gotta
how
rem-
you do them with eBay, right? Hourly and
Yes,
commission.
right. Hourly plus the commission of the eBay sale.
Okay. So
You know,
like how much?
that way they try to get as much money as they can for the item because
Hmm.
they're gonna make as much money. They're gonna make more money if they sell it for more.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like
That
that.
they have the incentive to get as much as possible for that item and do the research
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
you know.
I love research and stuff. Some of it is hard because some of the items I get doesn't have like any wording on it. You know, sometimes it has a number, sometimes it doesn't even have that. So you're trying to describe it like in eBay. Now we have the Google where you can take a picture, but I've done that a few times and it still doesn't even come up with what I took a picture of. So I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what to do
Right.
with this. So I just figure at that point, it's just whatever. I could post it for whatever, there's nothing on there that,
And I would still heavily use Facebook Marketplace if I was you. Uh,
yeah,
it's huge. I think you got to admit everyone's on Facebook these days, and you know you can throw it on Facebook Marketplace for free,
yep,
and sell it
yeah,
that way as well. So there's
that's
just
a good idea. Yeah. We did a pretty cool removal and he had some really nice patio furniture and it took me a while to find it. And then I realized that the patio furniture itself had a plaque on it with a name. It's normally a $5,000 set.
wow.
I've never seen anything that expensive, but it's that good of a brand. And my family's like, well, who would spend that? And I said, people who have money. That's
Right,
who want quality stuff in their backyard. So I'm like, no, I kept it. It was a pretty nice set, but
right.
it's just cool the stuff that you come across sometimes. So sometimes it gets repurposed in my backyard.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. But so what other stuff do you do on the side besides eBay and your truck?
So I'm a huge live music. I'm very passionate about live music, live Texas music. So I hit up my concerts, and have fun and enjoying doing that and working out as well. You know, I relieve all my stress, and I've done 75 hard twice now.
Wow.
And it's the first round, it took me 8 times to complete it. So I do realize how tough it is, and you've got to be dedicated and have the right mind to be ready to complete it. And then now I've already completed phase 1, and after MDM, I'm going to do phase 2 of the Live Hard year-long program. It has helped mentally strengthen me to achieve anything that I put in front of me. It's kept my head clear. I always I got to accomplish those tasks on a daily basis, and it's a total game
Mhm.
changer. My life is on fire right now between Apex, 75 hard, and everything else that's going on. I'm just very blessed and very fortunate to be able to work this hard and this dedicated.
That's pretty awesome. I can't do 75 hard for one reason right now. I am not able to drink a gallon of water. And with what I do, it makes it even harder because I don't have access to restrooms all the time. So what I'm going to work on before I commit to doing a 75 hard is I get up about 1 in the morning. And so I'm going to work on maybe between like 1 and 6 or 1 and 7. If I can get that gallon in there before I go to work, then maybe that will help, with that. But I've gone to jobs where there's nothing and I don't have time to keep disconnecting and go. So I'm like, man, I don't know how to solve this problem yet.
Right. You get it. So what time do you go to sleep?
Really early, like 6:30 at night.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I've been doing this for so long. I mean, it drives my husband nuts, but I love, it's so peaceful in the morning and nobody wants anything. And you can just focus on whatever you want that you need to do at that time. And it's just, man, it's just awesome. I get a lot done. I really do. And it's
Wow.
just quiet. Yeah. And I like to drive around at night and go through people's trash. So, because that's not creepy.
Right. Right.
I used to volunteer with the city of Otago Police Department. I'm like, just so you know, if you ever see me out, I'm just, dumpster diving on big
Right.
trash day. But that's really cool. Working out is definitely helps a lot, it's a win-win. When I used to get mad, I'd go to the gym and take it out on myself, and I still won because it's just a win-win. You can't lose with working out.
Right. I'm in such a routine now. I actually feel horrible not going to the gym. Um, I don't feel like I accomplished what I needed to accomplish on the daily.
Wow,
So
how many times a week do you go?
I normally go about 6 times a week. I generally take off Saturdays. And I do some kind of walking or something, but normally I'm in the gym doing a quick hit workout, high intensity training,
Mhm.
cardio slash weights slash, functional movements.
Yeah.
Kind of like a CrossFit type thing, but still a little
Okay.
different. But I burn between 700 and 900 calories in 45 minutes. So it's pretty intense.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, I'm gonna ask you just a few questions because we're getting
Sure.
close to the end. Just fun questions, nothing like super serious.
Sure.
So, do you have a favorite quote?
I, it's kind of like what I live by. I'm not even sure if it's really a quote, but just, you know, do unto others, treat others how you want to be treated. I mean,
I think
I,
that's perfect.
I wish this world was, would adhere by that quote a lot more. I mean, I just I don't care how bad someone treats me. I'm still not going to treat them like crap. I don't want to be treated like crap, whether it's a return phone call, return text, or even just being mean to someone. I don't have a mean bone in my body.
I
Um,
love it. I feel
and
like I'm the same way. I
right.
love that.
I don't want to put that negative energy out there. I just,
Yeah.
it's going to come back to me somehow. And I just try to put out as much positive energy as possible.
Okay. I love that. That's great. So, what are you the most proudest of?
Um, Being able to create my new building of my shop back in 2016 when I had a lot of naysayers and a lot of haters in my area. Being able to build that 8,000 square foot shop on 2 acres and now we've got 10 employees. I'm able to provide a living for those 10 employees that they can provide for their families. And they all love what they do. I'm inspiring them on the daily. I'm helping them to become the best version of themselves. And that's what I'm most proud of,
I
is
love
being able
it.
to create a business that has empowered other people.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Um, how would your family and friends describe you?
Uh, Very driven, uh, very goal oriented, and uh, nothing can stop me. I'm trying to think of that exact word that a good friend called me.
Relentless, maybe?
Relentless is a good one.
Yeah.
I've got we all have our own stories, and I've got a lot of obstacles that are constantly thrown at me.
Yeah.
Able to overcome them with
I
ease.
love that. And then what would be some words of advice?
A couple of words of advice would be surround yourself with like-minded individuals. We are the sum of the 5 people we hang around on the daily basis. And whether you're hanging around an alcoholic, whether you're hanging around a druggie, whether you're hanging around lazy people, you are going to become what you're hanging around. So my circle has gotten very tight and very small, and thankful to Apex.
Mhm.
We're able to hang around these like-minded individuals and empower each other. And never give up. I've over 22 years of owning Outlaw. I've hundreds and hundreds of obstacles that has been thrown at me, and I've refused to give up. I mean, there is no other option. And lately, probably for the past 3 or 4 years, I'm learning to not care what anyone thinks anymore. Like, I'm gonna do me. I know what is right, and I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. Like, I'm not worried to be judged. Only
Yeah,
God is gonna judge us at the end. And I know I've lived a great life, and not to be scared and put it out there what I'm thinking or how I'm feeling.
I like that. I feel like I'm a lot on the same page with you, and I love how everything's just hits me just right on, because I'm like, yep, it's reassurance for me, I guess, is what it
Right.
is.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I have one last question. How do you get rid of the trash in your life when it piles up?
I put it on eBay. uh,
I love it.
no,
That's perfect.
I
That's like
um,
the greatest answer ever.
and I make money off of it too. How about that?
I
I
think
get
that's like so perfect. That
I get
is
rid of
so
it and I
perfect.
make money off of it. But no, in my personal life or business life, one does have to shed weight and get rid of things. Whether
Yeah.
whether friends, family, if they're not providing or supporting, I'm going to push them away.
Yep.
I'm only going to have positivity in my life. If someone's not going to add value to my life, I'm not saying I'm not going to be friends with them, but I'm not going to communicate with them on a daily basis or be inspired by them. So I shed the junk and the weight that way. You know.
Yeah. I love that. That was it, man. That was just the greatest question. I mean, greatest answer. That was just perfect. That was perfect.
Thank you.
Um, do you have any contact information that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Sure. I'm going to wrap something up, and I'm kind of where this full circle of Apex is taking me real quick.
Okay.
So my next goal is I want to be able to coach other automotive shops, tire and wheel, aftermarket accessories shops, and be able to coach them. And I've only learned this through Apex in the past year, but I want to be able to take those shops and teach them what I've learned in business. I feel that 95% of these shops are technician owned and they're not true businessmen. I've had my business evaluated and I was blown away by what I thought it was worth versus what it was really worth.
Mhm.
And a coach came in and taught me those instincts and taught me how to properly run a business. So now that I'm on that level, I want to empower other shop owners to be able to do that, to have some freedom, more family time, and to have a business that's legacy left. And so that is my next version. Is I want to be able to, like I said, coach and help inspire other technician owned shops.
I love that.
We're gonna be I'm gonna have my own website soon, and Facebook group, and I'm really on the automotive aftermarket side of things.
Okay.
So yeah, you can connect with me, Justin. Last name is Schoener on Instagram and Facebook, on TikTok as well. And I'll have my own website coming up shortly. And looking forward to, if anyone ever wants to drop in or have a technical question or a business question, slide in my DMs. I'm more than glad to help. And I want to inspire others that you can come from nothing and build a empire and employ other people and continue to pursue your passion and your dreams.
I love that. And definitely, y'all can reach out to me if you're having trouble finding him. I can get you connected anytime. So please definitely reach out. This is he's an amazing person. We've been talking on Facebook, and it just an amazing person. I
Thank
mean,
you.
everything is just powerful and optimistic and positive, and I mean that it's just how I believe and how I live. And sometimes, it's that kick in the ass that is needed as well. So it's so appreciated. And
Yep.
we truly appreciate you coming in and sharing with our audience
Yes,
your
ma'am.
amazing story.
Thank you. There's more to
You're
come.
welcome.
There's a whole lot.
Awesome.
I'm writing a book here this summer, and be on the lookout for
Wow.
that. And yeah, lots more fun stuff happening. So
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll definitely keep in touch. I didn't know
Yes,
about the
ma'am.
book thing. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
I can't
Well,
wait
we
for you
just
to write your
wanted-
book either. You know, your book's got to be
Yes,
coming soon.
I got to start it first.
I'm calling
gotta
you out
work
here
on
on your
that.
podcast. Holding you accountable.
Exactly. I appreciate that. I need that.
Yep.
So anyway, we appreciate everybody coming and listening, and y'all have an awesome day, and we're going to say bye. Y'all
See
have
y'all
a
later.
good one.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.